Okay, the names and faces on your screen, they need no introduction, but I'll do it anyway. Anson from the 68s, Bryan from Last Dive Bar, Casey, fresh from the Ballers. Congratulations, by the way, on that, Casey. You're an Oakland Baller now.
Thank you. Yes, I failed spectacularly when I tried out, and then they eventually gave me a call.
Yeah, we should clarify. You're in the front office, not the left fielder. But anyway, it's a great thing to have you on board over there. We're here to talk about Fans Fest, plural. Bryan or Anson, you want to start on what exactly this is? It's a couple years now in the making, and it's only getting bigger and better.
Yeah, this is the third Fans Fest. The first one was a couple years ago. It's obviously the A's, the old A's at that time. The Oakland A's at that time, they had this excuse of how they couldn't afford a fan fest for the actual fans. So, of course, Oakland fans did what they do. It's like a very DIY approach to it. We took the initiative to have our own Fans Fest. And the first one was held at Brooklyn Basin, which ironically I drove by on the way home to be on this to talk about the third one. The second one last year was beyond, I think, everyone's expectations, held at Block 15 at Jack London.
Yep.
And this year we're having it. It felt right to have it at Raimondi Park and Prescott Market in West Oakland, which is thriving. It's going to be exciting. There's a lot of cool things happening in that whole area. And we kind of wanted to showcase the new era of Oakland sports, which involves the roots, the soul, the ballers, and what better place to have it at Raimondi Park, the home of the Oakland Ballers.
And Bryan, the guest list is pretty exquisite. I mean, you literally have the entire Jose Canseco trade scenario. Jose's coming. The person he was traded for, Ruben Sierra's coming. Lance Blankenship also coming. And that's just the start of it.
Yeah, I call that one the Canseco trade trinity, because Lance, he took the plate for Canseco when he was pulled from the game.
On deck circle, yeah.
Yeah, and so those three are coming. But then we also have Stephen Piscotty, and we also have Dalton Jeffries. We have Jamal Weeks from the 2012 team. And so, like, we have more players than we did last year. And then we have more vendors. We had 60 last year. We have 80 this year. We have more teams that we do this year. We have the same exact teams coming back. But on top of that, we have your San Jose Sharks and Barracuda. They're coming as well, along with the Stockton Ports. We still have 2 live stages, live music, DJ. And then we still have some surprises that we haven't announced yet.
Wow.
That we hopefully will be dropping in the next couple days. So it's going to be a well-rounded showing of all sports.
When I saw Sharky was going to be there, I second guessed whether I should actually be there. I get tortured whenever I'm with that fish. Like he just won't leave me alone.
Yeah, we got him and Scrappy from the Ballers coming.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Casey, this is so organic. And I know you were a big centerpiece of it last year. I know you're going to play a huge part of it this year. I think this is the year where it becomes special, though, because the 2 prior years, as Anson mentioned, there was still a Major League Baseball team in Oakland. Now there's not. And so this is the year, and I've said this about the Ballers, too. This is the year I think the Ballers capitalize on making this feel organic, being a healing place to come, being a place that's just fun to come no matter what. But I truly feel like this Fans Fest is going to mean the most. What do you think?
Yeah, and I can't possibly credit enough the Oakland 68s and Last Dive Bar, because I was there at Brooklyn Basin. I was there in Jack London Square, and obviously I will be there this year. And, they aren't people that plan events. These aren't people that do this for a living. These are people that have normal 9-to-5 day jobs that are working their butts off, and then they put together these incredible events, too, in their extra time, just for the fans. Like, I stand up there and I ramble, and that's about the extent of my involvement. Like, these guys are really doing the hard work, and I can't possibly credit them enough for doing everything they're doing. Like, I was at that game, by the way, when Jose got traded. It was one of the most horrific A's memories of my life, because Jose Canseco was my favorite player. But I get to be up on stage with him this year, which makes it all better. But yeah, West Oakland, it's blowing up. If you go to a Ballers game, you see a beautiful ballpark that sits on a park that was previously unplayable by Little Leaguers. You see freshly paved streets. I remember going to Ballers games and watching 30 bikes ride by on those freshly paved streets. You see people just enjoying West Oakland, and just across the street, where we're also going to be having Fans Fest is the Prescott Market, where they're putting in a massive renovation. There's going to be a tap room there. There's going to be all kinds of vendors there. So I think when people come out on Saturday for this free event, they're going to really see just how beautiful Oakland fan base can be. They're going to see just how beautiful West Oakland is.
Anson, I think the biggest maybe compliment we can give this whole event is that I don't see an end to this. Again, like the end of the Major League Baseball team, that could have been the end of the event. Instead, it's only getting bigger and stronger. And I honestly think in 5 years, I don't know what it becomes, but I think it becomes even bigger than this year, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing I want to just point out is for Fans Fest, I know that people view it as it's Oakland A's centric. It's really, it's a celebration of Oakland sports. Mind you, the Oakland 68's last dive bar, we know each other from growing up at the Coliseum, going to Oakland A's games. But what we want to do, what makes this really special is that the players that you see that used to play for the A's, they genuinely want to be there for the fans. They want to be there for Oakland. They understand the situation. It's not like they're getting paid to just make an appearance. They want to be here. And we're also celebrating, like I was saying before, like the roots, the ballers, the soul. We are honoring the past, the present, and the future. When I say the future, we're having high school sports programs there. We're having high school leagues. We're celebrating local organizations. So it's a new era of Oakland sports, and we're not going anywhere. I know that people are saying there's nothing to do in Oakland. We're going to prove you wrong, because come out on Saturday, you can see what's going on in Oakland. There's a lot of cool things happening. Like Casey was saying with the Prescott Market. Yeah. Ballers games are going to be a game changer with the Prescott Market being open. It's going to feel like fun again going to a baseball game. I know if you've been to the Coliseum over the last 2-3 years, there's this dark looming cloud you walk into. It's like, are they leaving? Are they staying? What's going on? You go to a Ballers game and it's like, oh, it's just fun, and I can do stuff before and after. So I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see that.
One more thing, and then we'll get to maybe our healing session. I want to talk about this upcoming baseball season, what we're all going to do, how we're going to handle this. Bryan, in terms of the list of events, it's basically what, like 11 or so you should arrive and expect to be there a couple hours? What's the timeline of the day?
Yeah, so 11 o'clock, the gates open. We're going to have 3 different security gates that you can get in. And so it's going to go from 11 to 5. So you're going to have 2 stages of programming going off all throughout the day. Simultaneously, you're going to have autograph sessions going off for the 7 A's players we have there. We forgot to mention, can't believe we did, but Miguel Tejada, MVP. Oh, wow. He's going to be there. Yeah, and he was over the moon about coming. So he'll be there with his son, Miggy Jr., and so yeah, and then there's going to be also autograph sessions going off along with the program that'll be there on stage. It'll go in intervals. You'll have a group of players go early, middle of the day, later in the day. You have the Oakland Ballers. We got 3 players that'll be out there that'll be signing autographs as well. There is going to be a silent auction. One of the components of this Fans Fest is raising money for the community and some of the organizations that we work with. And so there's going to be a silent auction going off as well. And there's going to be another auction going off with just bobbleheads. And that's going to be NorCal Nodders, Rob Roberts will have bobbleheads. And Jamal Weeks, Dalton Jeffries, and Stephen Piscotty's bobbleheads, those proceeds are going to be going to their respective charities. And then portion of the silent auction and some of the sales are going to go to Loyal to My Soil. So there's a lot of money that's going to be raised as well for charities to kind of preserve the future of not only baseball, but just charities that are within the community right now.
A lot going on there. I mean, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. As all of you know, I was not able to attend last year, maybe advised not to attend. So I'm happy that I can attend.
Games are free
this year. I can attend this year. Casey, I'm going to start with you on this one, actually, because I want to bring up some Oakland sports topics here since we're all here together at the same time. You know, there is that idea that some kind of stadium could now be built at Howard Terminal, and the Roots and Soul have the idea of a soccer pitch, soccer stadium. What's our thoughts about maybe the if and how and possibility of could that ever really be a thing? It's out there. I don't know the reality of it, but I know it's out there.
Let me say, I would absolutely love to see that. And obviously the Roots and Soul have a bright future here in Oakland as well. And man, Howard Terminal for soccer would be great because you could put the pitch there, you could put the footprint they have, and then you don't have to basically get rid of all the other port uses that they're so concerned about losing. And, the thing is like, to take it back to FanFest, this is an example of how bright the future can be in Oakland with the Ballers, with Prescott Market, with the Roots, with the Soul. And like, it's funny when we were announcing this year, somebody in my mentions was like, well, what are you guys going to protest now? And it's like, nah, like this isn't a protest. Like this has never been a protest. Like when I went on stage at FanFest last year, the first thing I said, I just looked out at the crowd and I said, we don't chant and never chanted, let's go A's, right?
Right.
Obviously there was like the Raiders chant, but the chant we always did was let's go Oakland. And that stays at Ballers games, that stays at Roots games, that stays at Soul games. And I think that it's just a lesson that we're all in it together. And I'm going to drop this. I probably shouldn't, but I was on a phone call with a very prominent wrestling organization today, and we are probably going to have to shoehorn in some of the biggest name wrestlers ever.
Wait a second.
This FanFest stage.
Like with an East Bay connection? Is that what you're inferring?
Some with an East Bay connection,
so like
some without.
I think I smell what Casey
he does have an East Bay
is
connection,
cooking. I feel like
it won't be him. Won't be Dwayne.
Dwayne Johnson,
no Dwayne.
Born in Hayward, I thought. Wait.
No, he is. He's got Hayward connections. Yeah, we got some major stuff cooking.
You guys talk while I look up the birthplaces here. I got to look up every WWE's wrestler's bio.
I don't want to drop a name, but I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about.
So we got some other stuff cooking too. Lots of announcements. But yeah, what's cool is that it says that people are seeing what we're doing that are outside of our bubble and they want to be a part of it. And they're like excited to jump in the mix and get on the mic. And so to me, it's just a testament to what these guys are doing. And, the future is now.
So that's a great point. Like when you bring it back to FansFest. And I think Anson too, like it's an advertisement. FansFest is for what still exists. And for anybody, whether it's a project like some type of smaller stadium at Howard Terminal or any other sporting entity that anybody wants to bring to Oakland or the East Bay, they're like, oh my gosh, I've already got a built-in fan base. And sometimes you got to go out and sell yourself. And I really felt like even after the A's departure, Oakland should do something to put itself out there and say, we're still here. This is what we were going to do for them. It's what we can do for you. I feel like FansFest, year after year, let's take a lot of pictures. Let's make sure they all get out there. Let's show people exactly what this is, so they know when it's time to consider coming here for something, like they could be excited about it.
Yeah, like I've always knew that there's something unique about Oakland fans, that there's this unique family, this unique community. And I know there's tons of teams around the nation and the world that have a diehard fan base, but it's not like this. This is very unique. And we use FansFest as a way to say, this is what you're really going to leave. You're going to leave the power of the fans who are organizing these huge events on their own without the A's involvement. Yeah. I mean, granted, they let us have Stomper the first one. Like, thank you. It is what it is. But the way first, just to showcase Oakland, showcase the people who make this town work. This way to showcase not just sports, but local businesses. That's what we're huge on. We're huge in the community in Oakland. We're huge to anything and everything that's pro Oakland. And it's Oakland there's no secret that Oakland gets looked down on all the time.
Yeah.
And if you're from Oakland, you're proud to be from Oakland. You don't understand why people are like, oh, you live in Oakland? I'm like, yes, best city in the world. Yes, I live in Oakland. So this is a way of us just kind of just bragging about our town and just showcasing what we bring to the table, and also showcasing to people, this is what you left, because we're not going anywhere. And any team that wants to commit to the town, we're going to give them that love back. So that's how it works. We see through all the BS.
Yeah.
If you lie to us, we're going to find out, and we're going to do things like the Sell movement. We're going to do things like have our own Fans Fest. Like, why are we doing this in the first place? We don't have to do a Fans Fest. We do it because we feel that we represent the people, because we are the ones who are out at the Coliseum pretty much every game. We were there when they won, they lost, didn't matter. That's our home. And this is just a way for us to just tell the world we still exist and we're not going anywhere.
Bryan, there's two media people on this conversation, but you're like the best at capturing media, talking about the A's situation and the Oakland situation and last year's Fans Fest situation. Just to remind everybody, Like, what were some of the things that you captured people from other markets and other teams saying about, wait, they're putting on their own Fans Fest and how well it went? I mean, you remember there was quite some reaction to that. I would imagine it's only going to continue when they're like, wait, they don't even have a team and they're still doing this?
Yeah, a lot of people get confused, like, wait, what? I don't get it. But they don't realize, like, there's an entire sports culture here. But like, and what they don't really understand maybe is that, like, it's not about the A's, right? It's about the fans. And it's not our fault or anyone's fault that John Fisher and that executive front office never understood that and never knew what they had.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't even know the difference between the Oakland 68s and Last Dive Bar, and they're supposed to, understand that. But yeah, I mean, we had a national baseball broadcast at last year's FanFest with Scott Braun and Foul Territory. Right. And so yeah, I mean, the media is already like hitting us up. Hey, what's going on? Can I get a media pass? Because they know how much fun it was last year. I mean, every vendor sold out. Every player that had like a little spot where they were only supposed to be there X amount of hours ended up being there the entire day. Grant Balfour was taking pictures of a cardboard cutout of John Fisher with a clown nose, with a beer and a lemonade in his hand. You know what I mean? Like this event is so transcendent. Like it's so hard to articulate, put into words how magical, how special that day was last year and how special this Saturday is going to be. And the cherry on top of this entire cake that the media, the fans, and everybody didn't get to see last year that we'll get to see this year is Brody Brazil.
Oh boy. You know,
and that right there, that right there, that's it. That's what I'm going. That's why I'm going. That's it.
Oh, I heard there were appearance fees, so I wanted in on that. And
I just want you to sign my high school sports focus.
Oh my gosh!
Little 8x10.
Actually, I'll tell you what. I will do the deal if I can get one of those. I'd rather be at the Oakland Coliseum shirts. That's all I want. That's my.
Yeah, it's funny because
I think you're filling out the order for one right now.
Yeah, I mean, I swear I've sent you all that, but you can have anything you want, bro.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I was like, wait a second, but
no, did those just come out?
No, we put those out. That was a vintage
old
bumper
ones?
sticker. No, so yeah, we put those out last year, but those are a vintage bumper sticker back in the day, and a fellow fan reintroduced that bumper sticker. And then I was looking, I was like, man, that's got to go on a t-shirt.
Well, that's so naturally I thought it was new all over again. That's why I brought it up. I thought that was new merch.
I posted that yesterday because every now and then I'll get a moment of inspiration of something. And I was like, man, how funny would it be if everybody at Sutter Health, or God knows where the A's are going to play, but Sutter Health are sitting there with shirts that say, I'd rather be at the Oakland Coliseum. And so, man, we got like 30 orders yesterday just for those T-shirts. We had one person email us, said, my entire family is going to be wearing these shirts.
That's awesome.
And we'll take a picture. And so, but yeah, man, that's funny.
Here's what I wanted to bring up. And actually, I mean, here's what I'll offer to anybody that wants to listen at Fans Fest. Like I really feel like all of us need to enjoy Saturday, but also need to use it as kind of a reminder and kind of like a healing moment. And anybody can jump in on this. I'll just throw it out there for whoever wants to pick up on it. But like the next couple weeks and months are going to be pretty hard on all of us. And I don't know that we've all gotten to that point of realization yet. I've been saying this for a while, that September 26th of last year, September 29th of last year, that was not the end of it. Like the true end of it is ultimately someday, years down the road, when you don't have all these strong feelings, watching a baseball team in the 916, having people rave about, they're selling out 10,000, but that doesn't even count. That's 10,000. Like it's going to be salt poured in the wounds of all the Oakland baseball fans over the years. And I don't know. I don't think everybody is aware of what we're about to encounter and the absence effect. It's like when you lose a person or a pet in your life and they're not there anymore. And that hurts just as much sometimes as the actual loss. So I'm kind of hoping to use Saturday as like a start of healing for people, but because I think we'll need it. So I don't know if any of you agree with that.
Yeah, I want to jump in and echo what Bryan said a minute ago, because it was kind of tongue in cheek, but it's real. Because you haven't been able to attend these events for obvious reasons, but you've been in the trenches as deep as any of us. And so one thing I'm honestly and genuinely excited for is for you to get out there and go up there and get the love that you deserve. And I think these two dudes definitely agree with me. You, Brody, deserve all the love, all the accolades, all the praise that's about to be heaped on you by this Oakland fan community, because reverse boycotts, opening day protests, fans fests, you weren't able to go to those. And I know how heavy this whole thing has been. And so I'm excited for that on a personal level, to see you get that praise. And also just to say that, like, this has always been about the people. Like, that's one thing I've learned the last year or so with the A's leaving. I started realizing when I go to Ballers games, I have the same fun. When I go to Roots games, I have the same fun. And it really hit me like a ton of bricks, like when I bring my kids there and they love it. And it's because it was always about the people you experienced it with. You know, like the games on the field are great and they bring you there, but to be able to go to a Ballers game or a Roots game and sit with the 68s or sit with Last Dive Bar and see all these people I've gotten to know throughout the years, to me, that's what made it special all along. And it hit me like it was watching the games with my family. It was watching the games with my friends. It was watching the games with the fans. And so we still have that, and that's never going away. And that'll be so evident at Fans Fest that I hope everybody just comes together and just enjoys it together.
That's a great point. Anson, Bryan, you got any thoughts on, I don't know, the weeks and months ahead? Like, how are you each going to handle this?
I mean, I'm really excited about the Root season at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
I'm just excited. I mean, I've said this many times in many conversations with people. It's just going to be refreshing just to go to the Coliseum without that dark cloud looming. It's going to it's going to feel like Oakland. We're going to tailgate and watch a team that wants to be
there with you. Yeah, right.
Oh my God, concept. Like, they understand, like, the Roots have a pulse on what the fans want. They actually listen what makes your fan experience memorable. Like, they incorporate Oakland in with the team. The team actually goes out in the community. They live in Oakland. They conquered this task of, like, embracing the town, and that's going to help a lot too. Just the Ballers. I think my view of American sports has changed a lot with the A's leaving Oakland, and it's like, do you care about the people who made you, who are making this environment, or you just care about your pockets? I get it. I mean, everything's pretty much a business, but at a certain point, just seeing like how all these owners just voted yes for relocation unanimously.
Literally all of them, yes. All 30 of them, yeah.
And that just turned me off. I'm like, if you don't care about me, why am I going to count down the days to pitchers and catchers report for spring training? Like, that's when I just it just turned me off of Major League Baseball.
Anson, are you soured on baseball, like, entirely right now? Will you watch it all this year? Any Major League Baseball?
Honestly, like, if it's on TV or if I'm like with friends, if it's on, I'll watch it, but I'm not going to go out of my way. Like, don't get me wrong. Baseball is always going to be my favorite sport. It's baseball, football. That's what the two sports I fell in love with. Obviously, the A's were near and dear to my heart, just the way that I grew up, born and raised in Oakland. But if it's on TV, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to figure out. Like, we are such in uncharted territory. I tell people this. People from other communities and other walks of life, they ask, like, what's up with the A's thing? There's been a lot of hockey players, right? So not even from this area, some of them not even from this continent. One from Europe the other day who said, so tell me about this A's thing, and what are they doing again? And is that why you switched jobs and all this stuff? And the bottom line is, it's just amazing to try and explain that to somebody, like, what losing your team is all about. Like, you're supposed to have your team lose games, and sometimes you lose a player to free agency or whatever, and bad things happen. Like, we all sign up for that. But, like, the ultimate loss of the team, oh my gosh. Like, there's no playbook for this, right? So who could say that there's a right or a wrong thing to do, or even what we're supposed to do? I know Saturday is what we're supposed to do. Like, I feel pretty genuine about that. But beyond that, I don't know, Bryan. Like, there's, for people that, there's going to be people that are hardcore A's fans are like, you know what? I'm going to Oracle Park. I just need my baseball. And I'm not here to tell them right or wrong what to do, honestly. I don't know.
No. Yeah. I see a lot of, like, with handling all the socials and emails and all that with LDB, like, I see a lot of projection. I see a lot of people's personal emotions kind of projecting onto what other people should be doing. And then they get a certain feeling. And I just say, It's okay. Whatever
Yeah.
you want to do,
Yeah.
you want to follow the team to Sacramento, that's okay. You want to follow them to Las Vegas or Timbuktu, that's okay. Like me and Last Sidebar, we're not here to judge any of that. Do we agree with it? No. But we're kind of like on a 3 parallel path.
I'm sorry. What? What?
Sorry, I just can't help.
You dropped a parallel path?
Yeah, I just can't help.
I'm gonna close you out of this conversation. Hang on.
Yeah, so there's 57 seasons of history, right? We're gonna continue to honor that.
Yeah.
We're gonna continue to do events and shows and honor. We got a thing going on with Clay Wood that we're gonna be honoring him later in the year with a bobblehead featuring some of that Coliseum dirt, and then so we're gonna continue to honor Oakland A's, right? And because it's going to take a long time to get over that for a lot of people. And then the other path that we're on is to look towards the future, right? Look towards the Ballers, the Roots, the Soul. We're still sponsors of the Stockton Port, so we're going to continue that relationship and do fun things there up at Banner Island. And then the third one is we're going to continue to drag John Fisher. I mean, that's I said I would haunt that man for all of eternity as long as he owns a team. It's my life's mission to make that guy's life miserable. I mean, you saw one post from the first spring training game, about 500,000 views. There's a lot of hatred for the actions that took place on an executive level within baseball, and so that's not going to go away. And I'm going to continue to take jabs at him. You know what I mean? They took my team. They took your team. They took everybody's team. I can still throw punches and still do the other things and have fun. I mean, it is fun. It is fun to highlight some of that. And so, I'm still going to take my swings. I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, the story is not yet complete. It's not finished yet. There's no conclusion. So, I mean, in the same way people ask me, will you still cover all this stuff? The plane hasn't landed yet. So that's what we're talking about right now is the story not being done. How about we just take it around the horn, everybody real quick. If you want to say something, close it out, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds, whatever you want to throw in the mix here. That's probably a good way to end it. Anson, you want to rip first?
Yeah, I mean, I want to thank everyone who's involved with this, who volunteer their time, every volunteer who's going to volunteer their time at FanFest. Most importantly, I want to just shout out everyone on the board of the Oakland 68s, everyone who's helped us out behind the scenes, Last Dive Bar, Casey, you, Brody, yourself too. Thank you for speaking up for the fans in a time where you should, you're probably told to shut up about it. And, you did the best that you could, but we understood the emotions. But just thank everyone for your support. I said this before, it's an honor to be representing this group as like the face of it, just to carry that flag forward into this new era of Oakland sports. It's bigger than sports. It's your community. It's the people, just like Casey said, the people make this, and we're not going to let this die. So come out on Saturday, and hope to see you there.
Well done. Bryan?
Yeah, I'm not going to do all the thank yous because Anson just did that. So I ditto that. But, come out Saturday, make memories. You got 2 MVPs. You got just tons of community vendors and stuff. Get to know them. Get business cards. Continue to use those services throughout the entire year, and those businesses continue to drink at the breweries that are coming and that at their partners of FanFest. Like, continue to eat at the places that will be there, and just continue to make this community vibrant by getting to know everybody that's going to be at this event, because they're doing this. They're not getting paid for this. They're coming out on their own dime, and they're doing this for the community. I mean, it's such a special event, man. Bring your camera, post tons of pictures, use hashtag FansFest 2025, tag us, tag the 68s. Like, I want to see everything, you know what I mean? And, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be wild, make memories on 3-1.
Man, Casey, no pressure. That was 2 good final statements there. Send us home here.
All right, so here's what I'm going to say. Last year, I feel like I went on stage. I was blown away by how many people were out there. But one thing we didn't do enough of was praise the sponsors, praise the organizers, praise the vendors. And I'm going to tell you a really fast story, but I remember driving home from FansFest, and Andy Dolich called me, and he was selling his book there, and he was elated, over the moon, like, we sold every book. It was the greatest event ever. And like, I popped around and I talked to all the vendors throughout the day, and they're like, we sold out a beer at noon, and everybody was just having the greatest time. And so my favor, if you would do one for me, if anybody's watching, take note. Take note of who the sponsors are. Take note of who the vendors are. Take note of the teams that are participating in this event and realize that they are going out of their way to do this for you and support them back. That's the one ask I have for FanFest. This is a free event, but I'm asking you, just notice who's involved because they're here for you.
Well, it's 12
Well, Brody's charging for pictures, though, I heard.
No,
Brody's
no.
charging for pictures.
I will say that I do have to work later on in the day, so all the beers that people are going to want to buy me, I'm already going to tell you, I respectfully have to
Just send them my way. I'll drink
save
them.
that for my stunt double. Casey can be my stunt double.
Exactly.
I have to save it for next time. I really want to have like 10 of them right now, but I can't. I just wanted to say, like, this event is 12-year-old Brody Brazil's dream situation. All in the same place. Me, Stomper, me, Sharky, and Jose Canseco. Wow. Who would have ever thought that trio?
And we got the bash arms. We got the bash arms that will be on stage.
Stu
with
and I had those
Jose.
on back in the day.
Yeah, we
That's
brought them down
awesome.
there for you. Yeah.
Well, fellas, I really appreciate this. I mean, not only the conversation, but I hope we've inspired, if somebody was curious about this, they haven't been, now they can go. But even the conversation of all the places we took it. So I appreciate this. Congratulations in advance. Can't wait to see you all in person on Saturday to really congratulate you. So be well, y'all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Brody.